Season 3 starts today, and I think we can all say we're a bit scared of the Macho Man. We're a bit scared of Incineroar here. You know, we've had a few videos talking about him in the Pokemon community. So I thought I'd do this video real quick for you guys, just showing off. You probably already know what Pokemon I'm going to talk about today, but there is a Pokemon that absolutely counters Incineroar. Like, it was born for Incineroar to come to a limited format. Like, my god. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's talk about Incineroar's biggest counter. Alright, so a fan favorite Pokemon here, Milotic. So the first counter to Incineroar is obviously Milotic's typing. Milotic is a pure water type, and I'm here to tell you it's probably the best defensive water type in the format. Milotic is extremely good, and that is the reason why you're seeing it around all the time. It is very good. Very limited play at the start of the season, I feel. I barely saw them, but it is starting to pick up, especially after Dallas Regionals. But yeah, so let's get into its abilities. It has 3 abilities, but its hidden ability, Cute Charm, is very, very bad. As over 50% of the time, it's useless to us. So we're going to scrap Cute Charm completely and look at its other 2 abilities. So its next ability is Marvel Scale. So when Milotic is afflicted by status, it gets ×2 defense, which is very, very good, but not quite the ability we want to use here. So competitive is definitely the ability we're looking at. Competitive, when one of Milotic's stats are lowered, it gets +2 special attack. So let's say a Meowstic tickles Milotic, its attack and defense get lowered by 1, so it gets +2 for the attack lowered, and it gets +2 for the defense lowered, putting Milotic at +4 after that. So this is very, very good, especially with Dynamax moves lowering stats, and with a lot of a good amount of Intimidate users around in the format, such as Arcanine, Scrafty, Gyarados, and soon Incineroar. So this is another reason why Milotic is a good counter to Incineroar, because it actually benefits off them bringing it. Especially with Incineroar getting Parting Shot this generation, if it uses it on Milotic, for whatever reason, or you predict it, then Milotic gets +3 special attack. So this is a good reason why, this ability is one of the main reasons why Milotic is very good against Incineroar, but the other reason is also its stats, so we'll get into that in a second. So Milotic has incredible stats. It's rocking a 95 base HP, which is really, really good, as anything above 80 is pretty decent. It's rocking 60 attack, which, let's be real, isn't very good, but let's be even more real. That's not what we're looking at, is competitive boosts our special attack, and it has better special attacking moves. So it's unfortunate because we can't utilize the attack boost from Coil, but it's really fine because we want to utilize the attack boost from competitive. Its defense is 79, which again isn't the greatest, but with the way we do the spread, it actually becomes very physically bulky on top of Coil as well. So we'll talk more about Coil when we get into the moveset, but its next one is its special attack, which is base 100, which is on par with all the mythical Pokemon, like Mew and Jirachi and stuff like that. It'll all have base 100. So it can hit pretty hard as well. It has 125 special defense, which is actually very, very good. There's not many Pokemon that get that high of a special defense stat, so it's really good to see. It also has 81 speed, which is around probably middle tier, closer to low tier, I reckon. But Milotic has very good stats, but you're looking at that defense stat and kind of going, can't Incineroar just kill Milotic? But that's where our EV spread comes in. Alright, so here is Milotic's EV spread. So first off, we'll talk about the nature, which will be bold. So bold nature decreases the growth of attack, but boosts the growth of defense. So this is already adding on to that pretty bad defense stat. And then when we go into the EV spread, it becomes a lot more defensive with EVs going out. So you have 252 HP because the best thing about a like tanky Pokemon is definitely its HP pool, because you could have like 1000 defense, but if you only have 100 HP, a Pokemon can still end up like really getting through you. So it's really good to have a high HP stat with your defenses as well, because it boosts the value of the defense. So then we have 164 defense because again, its defense stat isn't very good. Another pretty common EV spread is 252 HP and 252 defense with 4 special attack, which is really going into that defensive wall. I wouldn't mind recommending that to newer people who are just getting into EV training, so it's a lot easier to do. That's just 26 HP ups and 26 irons if you want to do that as well. And because this is a bit harder to do because you gotta mix in a lot of training and get those numbers right. But anyway, we'll pass that now. We'll pass the simple one. We'll go back to this one, which is 68 special attack. This is to give Milotic a bit of a hit. And then 20 special defense to kind of boost up that already good special defense, or even like more bulky, and then 4 speed, so we're outspeeding some of like the mid-tier Pokemon that don't invest in speed. So with this EV spread, I think non-attack invested Incineroar is, I think it's 5-shotting when I did the calcs with Darkest Lariat. So it's a pretty good EV set for it, and we can, when we get into the moveset as well, we can see how we can really outlast Incineroar and start just stacking up on it. So this Milotic set's probably the one you've been running into the most. It runs Muddy Water, Hypnosis, Coil, and Recover. So let's get into each move and what they do. Muddy Water is a 90 base water type move that hits the adjacent Pokemon. It has the chance to lower accuracy, and it's an 85% accurate move itself. So Muddy Water is Milotic's only attacking move in this set, but it is very good because it hits both Pokemon. It does a good amount of damage, especially if you get a competitive boost off, and once you start using the third move here on this set, you're not going to be missing any Muddy Waters, or you're very unlikely to. Another move here is Hypnosis. Hypnosis is again very not 100% accurate. Like it's probably one of the most inaccurate moves that you see in this format. It's a 65% accuracy move, or 60. I think it's 60. Sorry, it's 60% accurate, which is very, very scary when you have to rely on that move to win a game. So Hypnosis is really good because sleep this generation is very, very good. They have to sleep for 1 turn, so you can't just sleep them on the turn and then they wake up straight away. They have to sleep for 1 turn. So if you sleep a potential Dynamax user as they Dynamax, then they instantly waste that turn or the next. So it's very good, and you can potentially get the 3-turn sleep, which makes their Dynamax useless. So sleep this generation is very good because of that reason, because stalling out Dynamax and making it irrelevant can win you a game instantly. And then we have Coil here. Coil is what makes Hypnosis and Muddy Water less scary to use. So Coil boosts the Pokemon's stats by boosts attack, defense, and accuracy all by 1. So once those accuracy boosts come through, I think Hypnosis is at like a 90% or 80% accuracy, and Muddy Water is close to 100. So it's very, very good for this moveset. It also boosts our defense as well, which is awesome considering how bulky we already are, which makes this Pokemon very hard to get off the field, which is exactly what we want. We want this Pokemon to be sitting here being annoying and to be staying on the field and disrupting the enemy. Which brings us to its last move, Recover. So Recover makes it even more annoying to deal with, because you get all this damage off and then you press Recover and it's like you've done all this work for nothing. So let's say we bring it down to a 1v1 between like Incineroar and Milotic. It has to use 5 Darkest Lariats to kill us potentially. If we've got like 2 Coil boosts, probably 6. And then once he gets the 3 in, we recover. So that's another 3 he has to go through, and we definitely kill him within that cycle. So it's very, very good. It keeps Milotic on the field, which is what we want. We want those Hypnosises going around the board, and we want those Muddy Waters as well, getting those accuracy drops. So it is awesome. It just really sets this Pokemon up to succeed and sets the other Pokemon up to succeed, because most people are going to want to get it off the field, but they just can't because of how bulky it is. So yeah, that is my before we finish it up, a couple of Pokemon that you might want to look out for is Duraludon and Rotom. These are just the main these are just the main max lightning users that I can think of, and max lightning sets the electric terrain. So electric terrain means you can't put Pokemon to sleep, which makes this set harder to pull off, and they're also doing a good amount of damage to you even with your good special defense stat. Other Pokemon to look out for are Taunt users. Taunt users can really shut you down. Thankfully, not a lot of Pokemon are using Taunt at the moment, but like, I don't know, be a bit wary of things like Whimsicott and Grimmsnarl who can taunt you, and you know, then you're stuck only using Muddy Water. Another huge counter is Gastrodon, because since your only attacking move is Muddy Water, Gastrodon just sucks that up. You can hit its adjacent Pokemon, but if it ever comes to a 1v1, then you're just boosting up Gastrodon, and it just earth powers you until you die. So I think you should really watch out for Gastrodon. And if you do bring Milotic, make sure you have something to kill Gastrodon or any other like Water Absorb and Storm Drain users. But those are like the main things I can think about that really count at this set. Other than that, it's really good, and I really recommend you use it for this season because I think it'll be an awesome counter to Incineroar. So yeah, if you guys did like this video, please hit that like button, maybe consider subscribing. It is my first guide video, but I thought I'd bring this out because season 3 is starting, and I know a lot of people are a bit like scared of Incineroar. I think this Pokemon is the perfect counter. Please leave in the comments what I can do better to make these videos like these guide videos better. I know I stumble on my words a lot, so I hope I wasn't too confusing in this video. I've been trying to record it all night, trying to make it really good. But no, I don't know how good I am at this kind of stuff. But yeah, if you did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll make sure to make more of these videos. Make sure. Yeah, see, this is my point on the stumbling bit. Anyway, thank you all. Have a wonderful day.